Dana White still ain't jumped off that Mandalay Bay.
Dana White and Tito Ortiz were going to fight in a boxing match, and it's one of the big misses that we didn't get to see, and it was over Tito making weight. It was beautiful. They did the behind the scenes. Dana White was training. There's got to be video somewhere you guys can go find.
I've seen it.
That was one. That was back in the the old days. When Dana wasn't a billionaire, but I bet he'd do it today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they used to box. That was the backstory on that. They had their big falling out, but they used to box against each other. Dana was even Tito's boxing coach, not just a sparring partner. And yet Dana used to touch him up. And so when they got in this big dust-up, Dana's like, yeah, I will fight you. It's going to be boxing. It's going to favor me, but I will do it. That was supposed to happen. The commission ended up stepping in. Something happened, and the commission ultimately said, not only are we now not going to do this fight, and was that what it was? It was a weight thing with Tito? Is that what it was?
Tito pulled out. It wasn't the commission. Tito pulled out because they wanted him to make weight.
Okay, but it was the commission. So when the commission finally ruled on that, they said, hey, this time that we were going to do this match is now gone. And not only are we not going to do it in the future, we don't want to hear about anybody else. Don't try to take this to some other state. We're going to have a problem with it. Even though that's out of our jurisdiction, we're going to tell you now, do not even try to take this to another state. That did happen, officially on the record. So, yeah, I couldn't remember that. So it was Tito's weight. That's what got in the way. Yeah, but that was lost, and I will agree with you. That would have been very fun had that happened.
Do you know what would have happened had they fought?
Tell me.
About 45 seconds in, Tito would have yelled, tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, he might have. He might have begged for mercy. I don't know why I showed it to him, but I will not make that mistake twice.
All right, like I was saying, one of the joys for me is I'm one of you guys. I'm a fan. We're doing this event in Kankakee next week. I had these cool flyers made, and they were made by fans of the show. Jonas Stromberg from, I'm sure I said your name wrong, brother. Words are hard. Names are hard. Shout out time. He made beautiful flyers. Kerry Reynolds made beautiful flyers.
Do you get something when you shout everybody's name out? I mean, you just shout those names. Do people then tweet you and go, hey, thanks for the shout out?
I mean, they like it, but, there's nothing wrong with a shout out.
No, there's not. It's just you do a lot of them. I mean, I feel like if we did a segment where you could just bring in a list of names, you'd read every name that you knew.
Okay.
Is that true? I mean, you love shout-outs.
Why don't you let me finish and then do that?
All right.
So anyway, I forget you guys all the time. I forget your names, but listen, you're very important to me. Just like everybody trying to help me put together a great show in Kankakee, Illinois, next Thursday, 7 o'clock at the Majestic Theater. Go to everbright.com. We're down to 75 tickets. We only have 75 tickets left. And listen, there's going to be some big news next week. I can't share it, but I know it.
Cool.
Jacare Souza has come out and said he will retire if not given a title shot, with GSP booked and Yoel Romero guaranteed a... Do you know my name's Joel?
Yes.
All right. With GSP booked and Yoel Romero guaranteed a shot first, is Jacare just making noise, or will he sit out until he is offered one?
Well, and never, again, you look at history as the best trajectory for the future. Nowhere in history has a guy ever sat out. If he can do fights, he needs to go out and do fights. What do you think? Hey, Jock, you're not popular enough to get the title fight now. Do you think by sitting on the shelf, not getting any media, not doing any competition is going to make you more popular? He may think the answer is yes, but the answer is no. You do not get bigger or better at something by not doing it. If you're not the guy now for the title shot, you're not going to be by not doing something. And guys make this threat all the time to take the oars out of the water. Go right ahead. Take it out. It's a fax machine. Go and fax that to the UFC that I'm out. Not going to happen. Won't happen. Don't know why reporters write on it. Don't know why people fall for it. It's never, ever happened. And it can't happen. It's what a guy does for a living. Of course he's got to go to work.
All right, we're going to WrestleMania. Why haven't we had DDP on this show?
We've had DDP on. I've had him on. I don't know if it was in your tenure, but DDP's been on the show.
Tenure is a good word. Matt, we'll have some fun with this. Matt Hughes is talking about coming out of retirement and would look to fight a rematch against Royce Gracie in Bellator, and his second choice of opponent is Lad Supernaw.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, that's a cash grab. I don't know what's going on in Matt's life. That's a cash grab. He made it pretty clear that he doesn't want to do this sport. I'm in. I mean, I'll tune in. That's not going to do some record. That's not record-breaking news. Matt wasn't a big draw in the UFC when he was in his prime. But he's got a place, and if he wants to come back, I will tell you that to call a guy out who you've already beaten in less than 5 minutes, I mean, if that guy wants to call you out, cool. If Hoist wants to call Matt out, cool. But for Matt to come back and then call a guy out that he already beat in less than a round, a little bit weird.
Hey, lad, that was a joke. You're really not fighting Matt Hughes.
What do you think about that? I mean, you weigh in on that. Don't you think there's something maybe a little bit peculiar about calling a guy out that you beat in less than? I mean, isn't that a little bit weird? We don't usually call guys out that we beat.
Or smart. Hey, I'm 40 years old. I want to get paid. I want to fight somebody I can beat.
No, it's not smart, Joel. If he wanted to fight Hoist Gracie and he did that behind the scenes and leveraged that would be smart. To come out publicly and say, I'm the one trying to get a fight with a guy who I already beat. Oh, and by the way, I want a ton of money. No, I would disagree with you. I don't think that's smart. This is one of the things. Matt Hughes was not a big draw in the UFC. However, he was very important, and he did some very heavy lifting at a time when they really needed some heavy lifting to be done, and he's been rewarded and thought of highly because of that. And if you go back and you look at his fights, not only was he an excellent fighter, but if you go look at the times that he fought and who he fought the best guys, and some of them on very short notice. So he did do a lot for the company, but he was not a big pay-per-view draw ever. So to come back now, I'd imagine he'd want a pretty big paycheck. He was given big paychecks back then out of his loyalty to the company, but he wasn't actually bringing in that revenue. So I don't know what you do with him. If you take a hardcore fan like me, that's pretty exciting news. I'd like to see Matt and Hoist fight. I always like to see Hoist fight, and I always like to see Matt fight. So if you tell me they're fighting each other, but could today's person tune in, the people that we're counting on today that really drive those ratings up and have them interested, I think you'd have some struggles.
You know that Chris Jericho bit that he was putting people on the list?
Yeah.
Did you see me looking around? Like right now I'm looking around. Sooner or later you're going to say, hey, what are you looking for?
What are you looking for? I'm
looking for the Legend Ass Whipping Tour. He's a legend. We got to put him on the list.
Matt Hughes?
Matt Hughes, you're on the list.
A 170-pounder?
He'll fight 185.
No, man, let's just wish him well. I do hope that fight comes around. But, again, you're talking about a guy that does not understand the business. Every now and then a guy wakes up on third and acts like he hit a triple. Matt Hughes does not understand the business. But he was a hell of a talent. And he's got a place, and he's a Hall of Famer. And if he wants to come back, I'm in.
All right.
That's as far as I can go with it.
He's on the list. Boxing. I think that's funny to put somebody on the list.
Yeah, I'm just hoping you get off it soon. Boxing.
All right. Triple G fought Daniel Jacobs in a close decision win on Saturday. While Triple G continues his unbeaten streak, he has shown some signs of vulnerability.
Oh, gee, do you think? Boxing is such a farce, man. Go in there and box somebody. I didn't know who Jacobs was, and neither did you. The odds makers had that like a 8-1 Triple G, man. That's what boxing is. It's so infuriating. You got to hear, how tough these guys are. It's the same thing you brought up jiu-jitsu earlier. You got to constantly hear how tough these guys are, but then they don't want to go out there and do the heavy lifting. You got this guy, Leandro Lowe, in grappling, who we offered a match to against Gary Tonin or Gordon Ryan. Now, those guys will take on Lowe, but Lowe won't take on them. So you tell me who the best is. Do we really need to see the match when two guys are willing to do it and one guy isn't? Triple G goes, come on. Who cares? Who even cares? Is Triple G a great boxer? I don't know. And neither do any of you. And all of you front-running people that want to go out and say he is because you keep hearing his name, who has he beat? Who at the top of the ladder has he even chased? What name is he calling out that is impressive at all? It's really tough in boxing. Is Triple G good? Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. Go in there and box somebody.
What he said. Well, there's a couple things there I want to talk about.
There's one thing that you did talk about. Let me go back to because you didn't weigh in on it, and that was the Jacare Souza. You know, I make a great point. Look, if you're not good enough, and I'm not challenging Jacare's skills or anything else, but for whatever reason, he's not getting a title shot. So somewhere he's lacking. If you're not good enough in the fans' eyes, in the media's eyes, in the promotion's eyes, skill, whatever it is, you're not good enough to get a title shot. If your way of curing that solution is just by getting out in a means of getting better or bigger, that's insane.
I've got another shout out.
Do you agree?
Yeah. I thought Souza was fighting Whitaker.
You announced he was. I think you said mid-April. So I trust that he is. But don't you agree with that point though that anybody, because we have to deal with this a lot, and we're going to have to do. This is never going to go away. There's a recipe for success, and there's a recipe not, and the fighters all follow the one that's not. It does not matter how many times the blueprint is explained to them. They get away from this. Jacare is not going to be the only one to threaten to take his ball and go home. It's not going to work for him, and it's not going to work for anybody else. But what you contest, or do you contest that my point is accurate, that if you're not good enough for the title shot now, sitting at home and complaining is not the way to the title shot.